Number 9, Deepseek versus OpenAI. That's right, folks. On January 28th, Chinese AI startup Deepseek released their chatbot to the masses, which amazed everyone in the American tech investment sphere for one specific reason. Wait, these guys only spent $6 million and it performs on par with ChatGPT? That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Deepseek AI built and trained their model for a measly $6 million while OpenAI, a company worth $157 billion has been caught with their pants down trying to perpetually raise capital from investors without actually bringing forth the innovations that should come with that kind of money. I mean, for God's sakes, ladies and gentlemen, just GPT-4, OpenAI's latest version of the ChatGPT chatbot, has cost around $100 million. Deepseek did all of this with 6% of their latest budget. The craziest part, however, is that given US export restrictions, Deepseek did not have access to the latest and greatest innovations in graphics cards. They used 2,000 NVIDIA H800s, whereas OpenAI had access to over 10,000 of the best, most up-to-date GPUs. The point here is that they were limited in what they had to work with. They had 1/5 of the processing power and 6% of the budget, which means they got to work. What they lacked in hardware and money, they made up for with clever, innovative engineering workaround, which I will now point you into Googling self-distilled reasoning because I am not looking it up for a number 9 level story. But the bottom line is, in the modern hellscape, which is neoliberal America, the overarching theme has been that unfiltered capitalism is the only way to breed innovation. They need more investment, they need more profit, they need less regulation, they need the government out of the way and not interfering with American businesses in the name of innovation. But when all of that becomes standard, the true cost is less protection to the American worker and the American consumer. OpenAI was given hundreds of billions of dollars and a clear path to do whatever the fuck they wanted to do. And some Chinese company takes a shit all over the one true lie. And what do you think happened next? Nvidia stocks started to plummet. Google stocks started to plummet. Facebook stocks plummeted. The whole fucking tech sector plummeted. And it's funny, ladies and gentlemen, because every 2 years there's some new buzzword that they try to sell you on. 6 years ago it was blockchain. 2 years after that it was NFTs. Fungibility, ladies and gentlemen. And now we're just constantly being bombarded about AI. From every company, just nonstop AI ads. Every ad's the fucking same exact thing too. Hey, my daughter's too lazy and dumb to write something actually meaningful to her favorite athlete. Can you just do it for her? Or shit, I'm too lazy of a piece of shit to do anything at my job. Just write a yes and type email and send it over to Joanne's dumbass. She'll probably give me a raise. It's all bullshit, ladies and gentlemen. And the system they perpetuate as being essential and breeding the best new things just got cooked by what is perceived by the broader American public as the Chinese Communist Party, which they're not actually communists, ladies and gentlemen. They have a bigger middle class than the United States, ladies and gentlemen. Have you seen Crazy Rich Asians? Funny thing I did see though was immediately after the market shock, the CIA apparatus tried to get ahead of their damage control, and you started seeing, see what happens when you type Tiananmen Square in, or go somebody type Tiananmen Square in that thing. And you see that all over news articles and social media, which yes, I don't think their chatbot responded anything when you asked about it. But when referring to Tiananmen Square, Americans only know it through this one video in particular. So let's do a quick side-by-side in how this situation went down with the Tank Man versus American police in a random protest a few years ago. My point being is this, folks. We got a lot of broken shit going on in our country and a general lack of understanding of the basic functions of how anything works. Why don't we focus on fixing that before jerking off to the fact the Chinese $6 million chatbot doesn't say anything about Tiananmen Square? Yes, China doesn't have a good human rights record. Yes, China surveils their citizens. But you know who also doesn't have a good human rights record and also hyper surveils their citizens? Soft power is the only thing keeping us competitive in the hegemony race. And with the way the Trump administration's first couple of weeks has kicked off, it looks like we better start learning Mandarin. Ni hao, ladies and gentlemen. Ni hao. Hopefully we can get some of that high-speed rail.
What makes capitalism work is the fact that if you're a able-bodied young person, if you refuse to work, you suffer a fair amount of agony. And it's because of that agony that this whole economic system works.